Mick Ralphs has died at 81. He gave rock its swagger, a founder of two legendary bands. His riffs powered a generation. He'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame this fall. His sound will live forever. Rest in power, Mick. Drop your favorite riff in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Damn, that's it. Wow, it let me change slides. So we couldn't get a longer video, huh? Look at I've never heard of the guy. This is what's cool about decoding is once you learn this code and you get familiar with it and you catch on to some of these patterns, it makes this stuff like pretty simple, okay? And this guy's got an interesting name, and I've heard of the band Bad Company. I haven't heard of Matt the Hoople, but you could see this guy with the guitar here, Mick Ralphs, founding member of Bad Company, and Mott the Hoople dies at age 81. This number 81 seems to be a pattern lately as well. Let's look at this guy on Google real quick and maybe look at these bands. Okay, well let's go to the bands first because I don't want to give away his Wikipedia stuff yet, but I'll read it real quick. He's an English guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter. He was again a founding member of rock bands Mott the Hoople and Bad Company. Here's Bad Company right here. I'm assuming they had the song Bad Company. Na 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 na, right? I'm just assuming. Maybe I'm wrong. But definitely heard of Bad Company. So let's just click on their Wikipedia. It says they're active from or since 1973. This is a rock supergroup formed in London. And I guess there's multiple founders here. Singer Paul Rogers, drummer Simon Kirk, guitarist Mick Ralphs, and bassist Boz Burrell. All right. It says Kirk was the only member to remain throughout the band's entire run, while he and Ralphs were the only members to appear on every studio album. Peter Grant, who managed the rock band Led Zeppelin, also managed Bad Company. And here's Mott the Hoople. This is an interesting name. Something else with this decode is you'll see how we're going to connect Mick Ralphs to a very legendary basketball player. Some say the greatest basketball player of all time. That's another great thing with these decodes is you can show connections between multiple characters on the stage, right? So here's Mott the Hoople. We're an English rock band formed in Hereford, Herefordshire in 1969. Originally named the Doc Thomas Group, the band changed their name after signing with Island Records in 1969. The band released albums at the beginning of the 70s but failed to find any success. And here, back to our article. A lot of times they say somebody died and then they say they don't know why. But this guy dies. Look, it says right here, Ralph's had a stroke days after what would be his final performance with the band at London's O2 Arena in 2016 and had been bedridden ever since. The statement said no further details on the circumstances of his death were provided. Of course, right? Right? No further details. And he's set to become a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Bad Company in November. Okay, so doesn't that sound like a sacrifice? Doesn't that sound like a sacrifice? It kind of does to me. Okay, look, they said he had a stroke and he's been bedridden ever since. Now, RIP. Ralphs had a stroke days after what would be his final performance with the band. I don't think it's a coincidence. Stroke equals 88, like his last name, Ralphs. You also get 74. And I feel like every time we bring up 88, we got to bring up Trump because Trump equals 88. Okay? Trump also equals 47. You see the 74 right there? That's 47 reverse. I'm looking over here on the left. Had a stroke days after would be his final performance with the band at London's O2 Arena. London, like Donald Trump. And you know what? London also equals 88. Okay? London also has that 88. London's got 88 and 74. Okay? And you notice again, look, Don. Let's just put it like that. Don, you see that? London's got 88 like Trump, 25 like Trump, 29 like Trump. Remember, Trump equals 47. London's got the 74. You see Ralph's 74, 29, 88. Stroke 74, 25, 88. Okay, and I just caught that London thing right there. So I'm not even trying to bring Trump into the equation. Okay, but again, it happens, and there could be more there. I see a 2016, his final performance with the band in London 2016. Remember, John equals 16 and 61, Donald John Trump. And we had the Capitol riot on the 6th day of the first month. Or you could say 1/6, January 6, 16, right? This is the major basketball player. You've got to be kidding me because Mick Ralphs, this is his full name right here. Michael Jeffrey Ralphs. Look at that right there. Michael Jeffrey Ralphs, you get 113 like Michael Jordan. And this is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You get the 113 connection right there. Remember, the National Basketball Association also equals 113. And you would be mistaken if you think that that's the only connection I have here. Look, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. This is why I hesitated to show you Mick Ralphs at the beginning. And look, Michael Jeffrey Ralphs. Can you believe that? That's pretty wild. And you know why that's wild? Look, this guy dies June 23rd as the NBA Finals are finishing. You see that right there? So you get Michael Jeffrey Ralphs and Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You just get Jeffrey with the G, Jeffrey with the J. And you see the 113 connection right there. Oh, I guess I had it right there, man. Why, it's like, why am I even putting in the work here? I got the slide right there. What am I doing breaking away? Check that out. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Michael Jeffrey Ralphs. Even Michael Ralphs. Mick, they're calling him Mick for short. Look at that. Michael Ralphs has 226 in the reverse cipher. Like 26. Jordan equals 26. Jordan also has 62 like Michael Ralphs. Another basketball player connected to the 26, Kobe Bryant. Bryant equals 26. This number 26, with its 62 reverse, has been popping up a lot lately, and I think it's possibly because the year 26 is coming up. I guess I can use that kind of as an example. I could probably go back and look at previous years around the certain months, what numbers hit. I could probably do that too, but we get kind of busy over here doing daily decodes. But you see the 26, you see the 62 right there, also connecting these two characters with the same first and middle name. Even look at this band here. So, Mick Ralphs, founding member, Bad Company, also Mott the Hoople, like hoops, like basketball. Look at that right there. Like MJ played hoops, like basketball. Isn't that amazing right there? And something else with Bad Company. Think about Michael Jackson, MJ, Michael Jordan, MJ. Think about Michael Jackson. Who's bad? Do 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 do. Right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a singer, but MJ, Michael Jackson, who's bad? And you get this Michael Jeffrey character, Michael Jeffrey Ralphs, a founding member of Bad Company and Mott the Hoople. And obviously, Hoople connects with hoops with Michael Jordan. Isn't that wild? I mean, this could be scary for some people. I've had people get mad at me when I try to expose these characters to them. They don't want to hear it. These are. Look, I grew up idolizing Michael Jordan. How do you think I feel? I'm devastated, man. Hulk Hogan, Michael Jordan, say your prayers, take your vitamins, Michael Jordan with the Gatorade. You know what I mean? Think about his shoes. I don't think I've ever bought Jordans, but think about the influence these characters have had, and to find out this stuff is just all scripted, man. Notice the 23 on Jordan's jersey right here. Michael Jeffrey Ralphs. He dies on the 23rd of June. You see that right there? And notice how the dude's born in Hereford. Hereford. I don't know if I'm saying it right. United Kingdom. We just had um we just had the character die who was in Sanford and Sons. Sanford, Hereford. You get the Ford in there. You see that right there? Right? So this guy's born in Hereford, kind of like Sanford and Sons. What was her name? Lynn Hamilton. Oh, and did I fail to mention she played a character named Donna Harris? Right? Like Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. But anyways, back to this 23. You see the 23 on the jersey, and Michael Jeffrey Ralphs he died on the 23rd. Obviously, Michael Jeffrey Jordan on the left here. Dude dies 2 months, 23 days after his birthday, like 23. Okay. A statement posted to Bad Company's official website Monday announced Ralph's death at age 81. Again, he had a stroke days after what would be his final performance with the band at London's O2 Arena in 2016 and had been bedridden ever since. The statement said no further details on the death were provided. You know what's awesome too? I mean, it's not awesome this guy died, but you see the 23. You see the 23s here, right? Obviously, Jordan put this 23 on the map on the world stage, okay? But again, this guy dies 2 months, 23 days after his birthday. 223 is the 48th prime number. Look at this. And Michael Jordan's birthday is on the 48th day of the year, okay? February 17, 2025, the 48th day of the year. You see that? Look at that right there. Okay, so you see how that 48 connects to the 23 right there. As we further kind of expose this code here. Ooh, hold on. Is 1409 the 223rd prime number? Hold on. Is 14... Damn, how do I figure it out? What is the 223rd prime number? Maybe I was looking at that wrong. Oh, prime number. Damn, I don't know how to ask Google. Did you see that though? It looked like we saw... let me see. Is 1409 the 20... I don't know how to ask. Is 1409 a prime number? Maybe I'm just tripping. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm tripping. Let me show you what I was looking at there. Let me show you what I was looking at. This is what I was looking at over here. So let's go back over here. Look at this. Where was I? All right. So look at down here. This says 223 and then it says prime number 1409. I don't know what the hell that means, but that's Jimmy Butler's birthday, the 14th day of the 9th month. So whatever it says prime number, maybe I'm looking into it wrong. But that's amazing because everyone says Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son. So look at that. And that's his birthday, the 14th day of the 9th month. So look at how that 223 and that 48 connects from top to bottom there. That's pretty interesting right there. Okay, but anyways, let's go back to where we were over here. So that was a solid little catch on the fly there with that 223, the 48th prime. Even with this guy's birthday, you get threes and ones here. Remember back here, Michael Jordan 113, Michael Jeffrey Ralphs 113, the National Basketball Association 113. Remember the finals just wrapped up? Okay, now this guy dies at age 81. And Michael Jordan's father who died, he look at his birthday. I pull this one up in particular because this pulls up sometimes when I'm doing the research. I verified that I believe his birthday is actually one day before this. July 31st is what pops up mostly, but this will still pop up here. And look at the video clip. There's that Jimmy Butler again. Look at that. The 14th day of the 9th month. I'm telling you, everything's ran on numbers. Look at that. It's a minute 49, whatever that YouTube video is. That's the number we were just looking at with Jimmy Butler's birthday. That's wild. But anyways, most sources are going to say James Jordan Sr., his birthday is July 31st. But here's this one particular one that pops up where it says his birthday is 8/1. Check that out right there. So you get that connection as well with Michael Jeffrey Ralphs dying at 81. How else does this connect to Michael Jordan? Because Kobe Bryant. Remember Kobe Bryant? We know, everyone knows Kobe Bryant's connected to MJ. He scored 81 points in a game, and Kobe Bean Bryant equals 81 as well. Okay? And you could see James Jordan Sr., he died July 23rd. He even died on the 23rd. And this Mick Ralphs character died on the 23rd 1 month before. to go with that 23 connection there. Now, isn't this awesome? Look, you get Mick Ralphs, and look, it makes me think of Mick Jagger. Okay? Look at Mick Jagger. He is currently 81 years old. Okay? He is currently 81 years old. You get two Micks, and Mick Ralphs dies at 81. So look how it balances. And look at Mick Jagger's birthday, July 26th. His birthday's 3 days after James Jordan Sr. dies. You see that? And look at, and again, James Jordan Sr. dies right before his birthday. You see July 31st there? So we get July 31st, and then the next day would be 8/1. So you see how we get two different birthdays here. Whoever made that YouTube video might have just made a mistake. But July 31st will pop up most of the time. But look at that. July 23rd, July 26th, you get two Micks. And this is Mick Jagger. It's the Rolling Stones, right? Am I tripping? Mick Jagger? Wow, that's Richard West's birthday as well. And that popped up with the Jeezy. That popped up with the Jeezy release of Thug Motivation 101 that is trending because he's doing a tour. That album by Jeezy released this day as well, and Jeezy's got the J like Jagger, and Jeezy's last name is Jenkins. You also get the J, Jordan J. Interesting, right? The Rolling Stones. Yep, the Rolling Stones. Okay, so we have. Wow. Okay, so he's a Michael as well. That's interesting. Sir Michael Philip Jagger. So you got the Rolling Stones, you got Bad Company. But that's a nice connection right there because he's currently 81 and this other Mick dies at 81. They say Bad Company's a super group, and it was making me think of this super team that went 72-10. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Kukoc. I guess you could say Ron Harper. So I thought that was definitely something worth throwing in there. Bad Company, a super group, and you got that super team that went 72-10. Even though semi recently Golden State finished a season 73-9. I don't think they won the championship though that season. Someone let me know if I'm wrong. And Bad Company's got this bassist named Boz Burrell. You see him right there on the bottom? And Anne Burrell just died. So I thought that was definitely worth throwing in there.
Mick Ralphs just left us at 81. Imagine co-founding not one, but two rock legends, Mott the Hoople and Bad Company. This guy defined 70s rock swagger, from those glam stages to supergroup glory. His riffs gave us can't.
Does this guy look like Paul McCartney? Does this guy look a lot like Paul McCartney? Let's pull up Paul McCartney. McCartney's got the M as well. Paul McCartney. I'm not good with my old rock bands. This guy really looks like Paul McCartney. Wow. Wow. Mick Ralphs dies 5 days after Paul McCartney's birthday. And this is a Sir as well. Look, he's got James, like LeBron James. You also get another John down here with John Lennon. Wow, so this guy's the Beatles. That's wild. And you see Mick Jagger connected there? That's pretty wild right there. Mick Jagger connected, Paul McCartney connected. Mick Ralphs dies 5 days after Paul McCartney's birthday. And I guess they're all kind of from the same area, roughly, I guess. That's pretty damn wild. Pretty damn wild if you ask me. All right, so let's go back to that video. He really looking like
Mick Ralphs just
McCartney
left us
there.
at 81. Imagine co-founding not one, but two rock legends, Mott the Hoople and Bad Company. This guy defined
Look at that. Doesn't that look like Paul McCartney?
70s rock swagger, from those glam stages to supergroup glory. His riffs gave us Can't Get Enough, Feel Like Making Love, songs etched deep in rock history. He wasn't just a guitarist.
Yeah, feel like making love.
Gave us Can't Get Enough, Feel Like Making Love, songs etched deep in rock history. He wasn't just a guitarist, he was Paul Rodgers' best friend and songwriting partner,
Ooh.
cracking jokes even days before he passed. Mick's spirit plays on, right through every power chord and horn-laden chorus. We're losing more than a legend. We're losing a piece of rock and roll.
Who did they say he was? Paul Rodgers' best friend? Oh, we're gonna have to look up Paul Rodgers. Come on now, Paul Rodgers. This guy's best friend, huh? Is this the same guy? Yeah, this is him right here. All right, English Canadian singer Paul Bernard Rodgers. I'm not seeing much with the birthday there. Okay, so I almost need to change this thumbnail and have MJ in it. You know, that's a lot of MJ connected. Remember, they both got Michael Jeffrey. They both got the Michael Jeffrey. All right, so I'm just gonna scan the article as I typically like to do. Ooh, Bumble layoffs. What's going on with all these jobs out there? All of these jobs, all of these layoffs. Feel like making love. I remember that one. Can't get enough. Not sure about that. Okay, and I don't know. I'm not trying to sign up. I appreciate the Associated Press, but I'm not trying to sign in. I'm not trying to donate. None of that. So that's it. I mean, they say bedridden since 2016 because of a stroke, but no details on the death. And look, again, he's set to become a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Bad Company in November. And now he coincidentally just drops, you know? Sounds like a sacrifice to me. And he's dead at 81. Remember, Ritual equals 81. Mark of the Beast equals 81. We're in the 6th month. Don't forget about that. Mick Ralphs, founding member of Bad Company. And Mott the Hoople dies at 81. Hoople, like hoops, like basketball, with that MJ connection. Shout out. RIP. Until next time.